in and look in the mirror. How could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Madden 19.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
First carry for Darius Geis. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah. You're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he stopped immediately there. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now here's Amos on first down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Amos now to throw on 3rd down. Aguilar has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First connection there of the afternoon for those 2, and it's good for a 1st down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intent...
Oh, this is blocked. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Michael Bannon in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job. And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. Now a second down throw for Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, the quarterback's got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Give to the fullback on the dive. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
I'm not sure how much I really love that call. It almost seems like a little bit of a give up there. But maybe what they were thinking is, we've got a chance to pop one. They think we're just going to give up here, hand it to the big man, and maybe he can get through. Sometimes there's a little bit of courage in play calling that maybe we don't give enough credit. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield.
And a loose football. And the Redskins scoop it. And they have the football. It will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Blitz coming, and down he goes. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3rd and long for Cousins. Green's got it over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now Amos to throw. Throwing on 1st down. That's a loss of 8 there on the 1st down play. Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's got the hook up with Conley. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Amos off the play fake. Hard throw, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Crowder now to return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, and someone jumped.
from the gun. Here's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now it's the backup Smith. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Yeah, the penalty, it helps a little, but they'll still have to navigate a 3rd and 9 now. Out of the gun, Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From the red zone now, Smith. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Mike Bennett getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And he's going to go down again. Derek Barnett in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now Amos. A final shot before break. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And here's Amos throwing on 3rd and long. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Lets it go for Nelson. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme. So he does.
Well, he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Nelson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
This fielded at the 2, able to slither by. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Michael Bannon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation. And that's what they call getting home. Because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is.
And that heart just got shattered in 1,000 pieces.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they try the right side here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw here. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack. And guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Detroit!
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The Eagles on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Amos now from the gun. He'll throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
He's going to get it running right. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Eagles, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas.
In my diary, the start of war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly. Juicy, keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, you already dead.
It was written in the children's story. Their life's a so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. That presidents drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm, have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the I'm a player on the late night tips. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog to the skull. Ignorant. Can I live? Still film it, kiss to death, forever take your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, kiss to death, forever take your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger.
Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on